Sudama, everybody, and welcome to another session of Bhagavad. The group on stage, thank you very much for your wonderful singing. Let's join together as we all stand. Let's begin with Arati tonight. Sajam cha varti sanyuktam Grahina yojitam mayam Deepam grihana devesham Trailokya timidapaham Jai Jai Bhagavat Bhagavan ki Hey Arati. Everybody. Jai Jai Bhagavat Bhagavan ki Hai Aarati. Papiyon ko paap se hai aarati. Ye Amar Granth ye Mukti Panth ye Pancham Ved Nirala Nav Jyoti Jagane Mala. हरि ज्ञान यही वरदान यही हरि ज्ञान यही वरदान यही जग की मंगल के आरती. Everybody. जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती. ये शांति गीत पावन पुनीत पापों को मिटाने वाला हरि दर्श दिखाने वाला. ये शांति गीत पावन पुनीत पापों को मिटाने वाला हरि दर्श दिखाने वाला. सुख करनी है दुख हरनी है सुख करनी है दुख हरनी. ये मधुसूदन के आरती. पापियों को पाप से तारती. जय जय भागवत भगवान की पापियों को पाप से तारती. ये मधुर बोल जग बंद खोल सन मार्ग दिखाने वाला बिगड़ी को भनाने वाला. ये मधुर बोल जग बंद खोल सन मार्ग दिखाने श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही राम यही घनश्याम यही प्रभु की महिमा के आरती. Everybody. जय जय भागवत भगवान की गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो गोविंद Govinda bolo Hari Gopal bolo. Govinda bolo Hari Gopal bolo. Govinda bolo Gopal bolo. Govinda bolo Gopal bolo. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda 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 bolo. Let's put our hands together. Close your eyes. And let's sing our simple praise. Gajananam. Everybody. Kapeta Jambo. Uma Sutam Sho. Namami Viganeshwara Sarva Mangala Mangalye Sharanye Narayani Guru Brahma Guru Devo Guru Sakshat Tasmai Shri Om Namo. Everybody. Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. One more time. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Prem Solo Vindravan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Devotees, please have your seat. Make yourself comfortable. I'm losing count now which session we are at. This is our 18th session. And in our last session, everybody, as people are coming in, guide them where it have chairs. In our last session, we heard wonderful teachings about Krishna doing more miracles, helping, breaking bad, encouraging good with the character known as the father-in-law of Kans. All that he did and all that he tried. And we heard about the formation when people do bad prayers. If the Baba don't talk truth, some people will walk away from satsang never knowing the truth. An example of that, when people say somebody did bad or they prayed bad, I never hear my pundit talk about that. But remember, there are 6 types of mantra, 6 purpose. One of them is negative. Mohana. Mohana is where you want to stupefy somebody. You want to control their brain. We sometimes use those mantras, and we identified 1 or 2 examples. But just to recap, Baba, I have an interview in the morning, and I want mantra. But when I go in front of the interviewer, I may not have the paper to pass, but I want that person to love me. I want to be successful. I want that person to do what I want. That type of mind control, those mantras do exist. In our discourse, this lunchtime session, we heard about the formation by a son. He went and he prayed and he asked Lord Shiva, please give me a weapon that I could use on an enemy that will burn them. So Lord Shiva says, I will create different forms of fire. And if you use this prayer in the right way, the person will have untold problems. But do not use it against people who practice Gayatri. If the word Brahman is understood properly, a Brahman is a person who is knowledgeable of the energy of this universe called Brahman. It is based on the person's acceptance of Gayatri and their persona. There are some people that we did talk about how the genetics factor is important, but it is not alone. When you look at many Kathas, Jamil being one, the person could come from the family, but never practice the Gayatri, never have the protection of the Gayatri. And for that reason, they cannot help another person. The Brahman is somebody who helps you in this life, utilizing prayer to manipulate through the karma, how to come out of it. Simple example, Guruji, this child I go past Matsin. It have a Saraswati mantra that I could say to help him or her. Yeah, no problem. Jaga with this, whisper it, use this type of mala, etc. And what was D will become E. Change is possible if used properly. He says, if you attack somebody who is protected by Gayatri mantra, this entire flame that you are creating will fly back on you. So said, so done. He attacks Krishna. He's praying for Krishna to burn and die in this discourse. And the flame went back. Have you ever heard Hanuman Kavat or Panchmukh Hanuman Puja? If the enemy, when you read Bajrang Ban, the enemy is knocking at my door, they are trying to come, protect me, save me, and destroy whatever daikani, shaikani, whatever type of bad work they do. Send it back. Dear God, let it work. Me know where it come from. Let it go back. You see that going back? That is this discourse. Where the fire that the person is conjuring to do bad and harm, let it return. And the bad and harm that the person wished for you, it returns to them. For this reason, Gayatri is called the most potent and powerful mantra that we have. This is how it is elevated amongst all the prayers that we use. As we continue into chapter 80 of the 10th Skandha. Remember, Bhagavad have 12 volumes. And we're only, for this Bhagavad, this year's Bhagavad, we're only dealing with the 10th. And in doing this, we have discussed so much details about our Krishna. A simple example, if you missed the previous discourses, if you watch that picture that is opposite most of you on the wall there by that speaker, you'll see Lord Krishna posing with Radha beautifully. And the person has, many people have that picture and that murti home. But do you know they were never together when he was on earth, when Bhagavad was being read? That is in heaven, not on earth. Watch him good. See the basri in his hand? When he leaves Vrindavan, when he separates, he gives away the flute. He doesn't play that bamboo anymore. And this is why when you watch him now with Arjun on the chariot, he is able to hold the two reins for the horse. The hand doesn't have the flute anymore. In Padma Puran, he makes a promise to answer the question, where the flute gone? Padma Puran, not Bhagavad, says that he gave it to Radha. And he told Radha, one day I'll come back to Vrindavan, to Vraj. And when I come back, you'll give me back the flute. But until then, I will not go and play this for anybody else. There are many things, and my point is, there are many things in our Dharma about, in this Katha, about Krishna, that we sometimes really don't know. But if the person, if Bhagavad is a gospel or a book about having the feeling, the love for God, to listen to singing like what we just heard, and feel something, How are you going to feel something and you don't know it? You're a stranger to God. You tell yourself, I know it, I know it, I know it. But when you're in trouble, I don't know the mantra, I don't know the offering, I have prayers by my house, I don't know how to fix it, head to tail, I don't know. I depend on other people to tell me what to do. And if they pull a 5 or 9, well, how it go, it go. What you going to do upon it is Kaliyug. So the Yagya is a meeting, congregational worship, for us to share some information. Not everything you remember, I agree. But constantly bombard yourself by that information. And then one day you're going to realize why I love him. Then you will hold on to something. Maybe it's the history of this Katha or that Katha and it moved me. But in order for it to move you, you have to know him. And this is why we've been meeting session after session in these only 21 sessions to discuss what we already practice, why we do it, and for some of the reasons, what we don't do, what we neglect to do. Before we continue in this conversation, put your hands together. We're going to read more information. We have to do the Sumiran. The Sumiran is where we are asking God in this month of Shravan. Shravan, for many people, they don't know what it means. Shravan is the name for the month that we're in, but it is indicative of the science of prayer. It is a method of bhakti where the person doesn't offer flowers and prasad and all that nice stuff, but they listen. Shravanam is the act of listening to prayer and getting the type of relevant blessing in their life. That suppose I can't lift my hand, maybe I'm sick, maybe I don't have the material, whatever the reason, I can't do the prayer. Am I not going to be able to do prayers? He says no. When Sri Ram is talking to Shabri, for example, this is what they discuss. What are the forms of prayer? The forms of devotion. One of the forms that he said was Shravanam. The person endeavors to listen to good things, and by allowing it to penetrate the organ of the ear, that person gains the blessing as if they did the puja, did the prayer, make the offering, just by listening. As you're about to listen to it, ask God, dear God, I have at my home this problem, that problem. I have the risk of bandit. There are kidnappers every day hunting. Anybody who has a hybrid car is afraid. Dear God, it doesn't make sense we pretend everything is hunky-dory and I am living in fear. Today I present myself in front of you. Please accept my prayer and bless this listening type prayer to manifest in my life as protection, safety, and safeguard. You came and you saved everybody. Save me and my family. Say a prayer. Riddhi Siddhi Datta Siddhi Sadhana Varana Varana Sumiro Baramban Madana Kadana Ke Lalako. Click. A little faster. Ganapati Kripa Nidan Jnana Kani Ananda Bhavana Dehu Mohi Vardhan Varno Bhasha Bhagavat Jai Shiva Ananda Kanda Bhutanata Bhav Bhaya Harana Bhakti Vishaya Nirvan Gauravadana Mangala Karana He Braja Chandra Mukunda Braja Bhushana Dushana Harana Katahu Bhavaya Panda Charana Sharana Le Anakara Jai 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 Jagadisha Sevata Shesha Mahesha Jam महिमामित भेवा भेद भेद जानत रहे रिद्धि सिद्धि दाता तेरी शरण वारन वरना सुमिरो बारंबार सुमिरो बारंबार मदन कदन के लाल को वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय. Earlier I was telling everybody about my friend, somebody I went to school with, and whenever we are doing any type of Seva or any type of project, he's always there helping. We spoke about the type of people you surround yourself with. That these people have the inner ability to lift you or drag you. At the end of the day, as we say, the people who have access to your information, your history, your life, 10 to 1, they are the people who hurt you the most. Part of Kali Yuga is being surrounded by people that give you bad advice, dangerous advice. They guide you wrong. Blessed is the person that has a good support system, good parents, good guru, available teachers to help lift and mold the person. But one of the signs of Kali Yuga, the same person that should appreciate the brace of good friends, teachers, etc. Dams, bad talks, breaks, beats, the same gurus, teachers that lift you up. So it is not strange that in the school system we have all this bullying and disrespectful behavior. Many parents in their old age are beaten and disrespected and mistreated. These things become tenets of Kali Yuga. Features, symptoms. When a person considers themselves a personality, a persona, a lover, you'll hear people name Krishna Das, Govind Das. I am a servant of Krishna. But your persona and your character is not lining up with Krishna. What are you believing in? What are you worshiping? What you don't practice? Then rather than become a devotee of Krishna, you are becoming cunts. I do prayers, but I live differently. We enter into this chapter where Raja Parikshit is asking, give me one more discourse where Krishna shows kripa, kripa meaning mercy, on somebody. You said that he is friendly with all people that are using the Gayatri, Brahman, the knowledge of the Brahman, Brahman people, good people, people that help other people, he helps them. Could you give me a discourse who he helped so that I, Raja Parikshit, the grandson of Arjun, could understand his ways, what he likes, what he loves a little more? Let's enter into this first sloka where Sukadeva Goswami answers him. Achyutam Keshavam Ramanarayanam Achyutam Keshavam Ramanarayanam Krishna Damodaram Vasudevam Hari Krishna Damodaram Vasudevam Hari Sridharam Madhavam Gopika Vallabham Janaki Nayakam Ramachandra Vade Sabhagyate Tasya Gunanidhi Karo Tartar Karo Manushya Swaitishayati Vidatangyati Shrunuti Datapun Pundarakyatam Achyutam Keshavam Ramanarayanam Achyutam Keshavam Ramanarayanam Krishna Damodaram Vasudevam Hari Sridharam Madhavam Janaki Nayakam Ramachandra Vade Sharire Ati Padaye Achyutam Keshavam Satyabhamadavam Madhavam Sridharam Radhika Radhitam Indira Mandiram Chedasa Sundaram Devaki Nandanam Nandajam Sandade. There are many people. Guru talking to Shishya now. This man is running out of time. Raja Parikshit is going to die and he's praying for salvation. He says, you want to hear about friend, but inside of you, you are living inside. You are living with your own enemy. Raja Parikshit says, what are you talking about? What enemy living inside of me? The first enemy I have. Chapter 80, verse 3. Your tongue will put you in more trouble than any other person in this life. That tongue is only supposed to be called a tongue the day it allows you to talk truthfulness. Your ears is your enemy. Until your ears relish in hearing the name of God. Until the day you don't get fed up. You ever see a child, Ma, how much time you gonna play the chalita, girl? You ever hear a child say that? It's irritating and boring until your ears enjoy good and godly. That is not an ears, that is an enemy. Until the day your head, although your head big like mine, could find solace at the feet of the murky. You know what I say? Now to the back tonight, but I had to go and bow by that murky. I have a earnest, I have a want it. I want to go and just touch that murky. Don't call that head, call it an enemy. You are surrounded by things that feed you. You are collecting information from all sides, but they are enemies because they are giving you feedback, but never the information to make the right choice or the right decision. You ever see somebody like pepper sauce? And they cannot eat the food unless they have the pepper sauce. They cannot eat the food unless they have this, that. I cannot eat karai baba. I have to have ketchup in this and da-da-da-da-da. And when you see the right thing and you smell the right thing and you taste the right thing, you enjoy it. But suppose your mouth, your ears, your eye, your head never enjoy the right thing. The one thing that could help you when you're in trouble. Put your faith in ketchup. Enjoy that and see how much help it will help you. He says, Kaliyug, the person becomes their own enemy. Shishya, listen. Vishnave, Jishnave, Shankarne, Chakrane, Rukmini, Ragini, Janike, Janave, Vallave, Vallave, Achite, Atmane, Kamtavid, Kamshini, Vamshini, Tenama, Achyutam, Keshavam, Ramanarayanam, Achyutam, Keshavam, Ramanarayanam, Krishna Damodaram, Vasudevam Hari. Vishnu Re Ratahe Santitaya Par Bhagavan Yuyi Niti Par Vasudev Vasudev Bhagvat Niti Par Yati Vishwaru Krishna Satiye Dvijapar Achyutam Keshavam Ramanarayanam Achyutam Keshavam Ramanarayanam Sridharam Madhavam Gopika Vallavam Janaki Nayakam Ramachandra Bhaje Janaki Nayakam Ramachandra Bhaje. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Everything you hold on to, this last look, he says, Parikshit, in this life, God, as we said in different nights, God gives in this life, what he really gives you is an opportunity, time. And in this time, you could acquire things that you hold on to and it identifies. I'm the owner of a big house. I have 10 sons. I have this, that, and the other. And that becomes your persona. But those things will only break you. The same house that you have fought for fight a bill and you're using it, your same leg will tell you, oh God, the tile and the floor are going to fall. I can't climb that step anymore, Baba. The same house becomes a burden. The same children, if they good, you good. They have stress, you can't sleep. Then, okay, go one step further. You have to do prayers. How much are your prayers? Every parent here, how much are your prayers? This be about you and your God. Dear God, she need this help. Dear God, he had to pass an exam, help him. He driving on the highway, help him. Dear God, his wife gave him good trouble. I feel she cheat on him. That is it. Dark. When you think about the conversation you have with God, you take the time you have and you squander it. You throw it away. And then we go say, you know what? Them people do we obia. Them people do we bad. And his point is, Parikshit, we become we own enemy. That is why in Gita he says, you are your own friend or your own enemy. It starts with you. If we had to use an English term, it starts with your time management, to be honest. And what you prioritize in your life. Sukdev Goswami says, please listen to the discourse about the friend of Krishna, the Sudama part. Remember, we touched on Sudama with the shank. We talked about how we end up with the shank and how Radha couldn't be together with Krishna because of that same Sudama. Listen how that unfolded and the blessing that comes with it. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Everybody help me sing now. Krishna Siddhi Parasathayitam Kachin Vijaye Brahmantar Parayakta Indra Yishyatam Pashyanti Pratiksha Indra Narayanaya Brat patim pramalyata Padena sadwarika he nath Vaishampaya dhamyecha Nanu bhagavan sakhayeti Narayanaya Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Last year when we were doing Bhagavad, if you don't know this, let me just remind you. Krishna, he gives up the form. The Krishna Lila comes to the end under a peepal tree. The blood of Krishna makes this tree tilted potent. People are afraid to cut the tree because there are ramifications. If you don't fast, for example, or inappropriately cut this tree, could cause damage. The reason that happens is because when Krishna was shot in his foot, he leans up under the tree at the bank of the Yamuna, and the blood of Krishna is pulled by the tree. Till today, when people have different problems, they worship the tree because of that. And many people don't understand why he's Krishna. He gets shot so many times, so much battles we've been talking about. What was different in this case? There is a discourse in Skandha Puran and Padma Puran, not Bhagavad, that explain that. He makes a statement that I keep my word and I promise any person that is a servant to Gayatri, the mantra, I will listen to them. I will not break my word. I will not deviate. I tell you, I will take care of you. Simple language. I will take care of you. So Rukmani and Krishna return to Dwarka. But Lord Shiva incarnation as Durvasa Rishi comes to test their fortitude. Will they stay to their word? Are you truthful? So the Rabasa Rishi comes and Krishna tells Rukmini, you are in charge of him. Make sure he's comfortable, and whatever he says, give that to him. We could afford it, we could do it, take care of him. Yourself, no servant. Rukmini, if he calls for food 2 o'clock in the morning, she bring in the food and then he will pelt with the plate. Will you get angry? Will you stop? What you're going to do? But she held on to it and went like that, being really, really devious. The Rabasa Rishi was somebody who came to test. He tests Sri Ram, so Lakshman dies. He tests many different forms in his discourse. And when he was getting ready to leave Dwarka, the last thing he says, I want you to take fermenti. Fermenti is a slurry, a mixture with gobar, cow urine, and different ingredients. Just like when they're getting ready to make agarbatti. Do you know agarbatti is gobar rolled on bamboo? This mixture that is used for that, he says, I want you now to bathe yourself with it from head to toe. Rukmini did it, totally covered. Krishna kept on his shoe, but he put it on, made them do prayer and all sorts of things, different type of vrat, etc. And when it was done, he says, wherever that gobar is, your body will be impervious to attack. Nothing will penetrate your body. And you could imagine at the end of the prayer, Krishna wants to slip off the shoes. He says, oh my God, what did you do? Look, your ankle is bare. He says, oh Krishna, whosoever attacks you by your ankle on your left foot, that will be your way. That will be the exit of the Krishna Leela. And this is why when the arrow penetrated the body, Daruk the charioteer came and was ready to pull it out. And he says, no, wait, leave that. And this is how Krishna has to exit the Leela, gives up Dwarka, gives up everything, because he maintained the strict vow. This is why we said he's called Vasudev. Vasudev, his father, had the tendency, no matter what he gives his word, he will state it, regardless of the ramification. In the same way now, Sukadeva Goswami says Krishna had a very good friend in the form of a Brahman, a young Brahman, by the name of Sudama. In this text it says Sridama. He says this person and him go way back. But this person is born into a crippling form of poverty. From his father's house, he was born poor, and he marries and he continues in this poverty, never having proper clothes, never having enough for his wife, so she's poorly covered, etc. In the same spirit, they subside, they live, and they continue to survive on the bare minimum. Their body is emasculated, very hungry people, but they do not complain. They make do, they are grateful for the little morsels they do get. Because this person believes that whatever God provides, that is what I will have. I am not going to rob, I am not going to steal, I am not even in my prayers gripe behind what this one have, or what that one have, or what they ascertain from their karma. And as you know, she says to him one day, dear husband, we have nothing in this house. Verse 9, she tells him, your friend is the friend of positive, prayerful people. And you are the embodiment of living a dharmic lifestyle. You should go and ask your friend for some assistance. He helps everybody. Everybody is welcome by him. Please go and ask him for some assistance. Sukadeva Goswami says, in the city of Dwarka, all the Bhoj, all the Vrishni, all the Andaka tribes were living together peacefully. That is all his cousins and family and so on. And because of the presence of people such as Vasudeva and Devaki living by their son, everybody is peaceful. And ever so often, there is a high amount of food, cooking and sharing, gift giving, all these things. And he thinks the first thing that went through the head of Sudama is that this will be his opportunity. He's getting an opportunity to see the Lord. He says, I haven't seen him in so long. I haven't seen him in so long. If I were to take this natural, it wasn't from me. This is not my idea. This is fate. This is something that is coming to me. Maybe this is his blessing. It is an opportunity. And I'm going to take the opportunity to go see him. As we all know, he turns to her and he asks her for something, a recipe called pritukas. This is where you fry the rice, patch it like what we see for lava and thing, and then beat it to take out all the shells and all that, to clean it. It doesn't require too much material to cook. It doesn't have too much raw material, and they didn't even have it. He says, give me something to carry. And she went by the neighbor, according to Bhagavad. Verse 14, went by the neighbor and collected just 4 handfuls, tied it in a little jewelry, and he left. Let's hear what he says, what Sudama says while he's walking towards the gates of Dwarka. Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam, Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam, Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam, Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam, Dwarka Dwarka Klinyatam, Krishna Mitra Matya Katha, Sandapani Chitta Chittayatam, Rini Bhulaye Yati, Jaya Bole Baba Tab Sharanam. Come on everybody, let's sing together. Jaya Bole Baba Tab Sharanam, Jaya Bole Baba Tab Sharanam, Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam. He says, I know him. And for the person that loves Krishna, his heart, him, the person, is very easy to access. But his gateway, the doorway to all the palace, not knowing where to find him, that's the problem. To get around people that will stand as obstacles at the doorway to get into the city of Dwarka, that is the challenge. People will come and they will impede. I'm a poor man. I cannot cover my body with cloth. They will block me. But the Lord of Dwarka, he will open his hands lovingly and accept me. How powerful Garibi, how powerful poverty is. That even if you have the right character, even if you have the right disposition, people judge you for different things, differently. People pull you down, people discredit you, and in the eyes of the God, you are uplifted. I'm in a funny position. Oh Kanha, show me how I will get to see you. Give me the permission. As he's walking, for children to understand, he's talking, and who he's talking to? He's talking to that same Krishna. If you permit me to find you, if you permit me to see you, I will see you. Bole Baba Tab Sharanam, Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam, Jaya Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam, Sadhya Priyasya Viprayatam, Dhanda Ye Varsha Ye Ati, Pratho Vyapar Ye Munjar, Devya Yantar Ye Ati, Jaya Bole Baba Tab Sharanam, Jaya Bole Baba Tab Sharanam, Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam, Shiva Tava Sharanam. Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tava Sharanam. Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tava Sharanam. Ato ye yo purva sanka ye nat sukam ye ati Tishyatam dvijaye pravachami Padav paraye India he Jaya Bhole Baba Tav Sharanam. Jai Bhole Baba Tav Sharanam. Jai Bhole Baba Tav Sharanam. Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tav Sharanam. Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tav Sharanam. If you were on the way to meet the Lord, what would your conversation be? For sinful people like me, I gotta ask him for this and I gotta ask him for that and I gotta make sure and ask this. I remember to ask you that. Sudama, on the other hand, verse Slok 19, he says, I wonder if he'll remember his friend. He says, I hold him in my memory. For every Hindu here, when you go to prayer and you see Lord Vishnu have that sank in his hand, and you go to prayers and you hear sank being blown and everybody's bending their head, do you know why you bow your head when this is bellowed? You're the Hindu, pretend I am not a Hindu, and I see somebody blow this for the first time. What did they do that for? Open, genuine question. I want to know, not disrespectful. You're the Hindu. What's the answer to the question? Why in your worship are you blowing this? And the answer is the friendship between Sudama and Krsna. Krsna never forget that friendship. After the earth, and they went back to Golok, Brahm Vaivat Puran, Krsna Janam Khan, chapter 32. Sudama and Krsna went knocking from lok to lok to lok, and Radha is waiting, and they take long to come back. And when they reach by the door, she opens the door. She's always, known for her temper. And she saw Sudama. First, she started a quarrel with Krsna. And Sudama is somebody who he loves the Lord too much, cannot tolerate somebody ill speaking him, bad talking him, abusing him. Krsna continues to smile with her and she's ranting, and Sudama opened his mouth and he says, you cannot talk to my Lord like that. I put a shrap on you. When he goes upon the earth in that Krsna Leela, you will not be able to have him. Sudama is the one who keeps two of them from getting married in Krsna. In Bhagavad, when you hear Rukmani, Satyabhama, Jamwanti, we did those discourses. When he is called Murari because Satyabhama killed Mura with the Sudarshan Chakra. But you don't hear Radha and Krsna getting married. Sudama pronounced the curse. You could imagine with tears in his eyes how you could talk to my God like that. And she turns around and she says, you are speaking to the Jagat Janani. You are talking to the mother. And you are talking as if I am a nobody. Go with your demonic mouth and born on the earth as a demon. Sudama becomes Shankachur, the husband of Tulsi, that same Tulsi plant. And when the whole Katha with the Shaligram is done, and Lord Shiva is fighting Shankachur and they cut off his head, Lord Shiva with the four-handed form lifts up the body and they are about to throw all the different people he have working for him, squealing and jumping and dancing around the fire to celebrate this victory. He was about to throw the body into the fire, and Lord Vishnu appears and says, wait. That is my friend. Different form, but that is my friend. That is my Sudama. From Shankachur comes Shank. And he says, throw the body in the water, and from his bone let all the seashells come. And whenever there is worship, let it be bellowed, and the sound energy reverb and push away bad people, bad intention, go from here. Earlier today we heard when the fake prophet, the fake person, the fake God was telling Krishna, give up the insignia of the sangh. Why is this his symbol? Why is this stitched on or in the pitiers of who is fighting? The flag for Dwarka has a sangh in it because of Sudama, the history. And Krishna never forgot this friendship. But here, his friend is thinking that because I am poor, because I have less, I will mean less to him. Sukdev Goswami says with tears in his eyes as he was coming closer and closer to that gate, he was afraid that he would be disappointed that his friend would not see him. Remember, we just heard lunchtime how he becomes the emperor. This man was tending the cow in a field, but then he becomes the king of kings. He has many kings under him because he freed them. So if you are in charge of so many opulent and very influential people, will you meet with somebody who is dirty, starving, and barely has clothes to cover their loin? And he says, this person, I've always treasured the memory of school times, but it will hurt. Parikshit, his fear, his anxiety was if he goes and he's turned away. Let's hear what happens as he reaches by the gate. Pahi, Pahi, save me God. Pahi, 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 Gajanana, Parvati Nanda, Gajanana. Come on, if you know it, help me sing tonight. Lambodar he Gajanana, Lambodar he Gajanana, Lambodar Gaj Vicharana, Pahi, 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 Ato Pashme Purva Janka Swayam Yena Sakhayetam Maranayetam Uttahridayeva Jwalayena Pado Par Pahi, 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 Gajanana, Parvati Nanda, Gajanana, Rukmani Nath, Jwala he Rajan, Bhakta Vatsala Lokapi, Yali Bhavanti Yena Gandha, Chandana Guru Chandayati, Pahi, 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 Gajanana, Parvati Nanda, Gajanana. He goes, and the soldiers and the people by the doorway take the message that a poor Brahman, a poor praying person is waiting by the gate for the great king. Who is going to get the king to come by his gate? Because of how you look, we are not going to let you just freely waltz into this property. We'll send the message and we'll see what happens. And they laughed at him. How will that great king come to see a man like you? And the tears started to drop. He turned away. And the one thing Parikshit, he says, cursed is poverty. Poverty, no matter what God gives you, poverty has the ability to break you. No matter what health, no matter what good looks you might have, that Garibi could take all of that from you. Today I'm going to turn back. I'm not going to stay here and wait. He wouldn't come to see me. Ekadanta Gajanana, Ekadanta Gajanana, Anekadantam Vicharana, Krishna was resting his head in the lap of Rukmini, and Rukmini was fanning. Let me just use the word fan. The word here is curry. Curry is like a whisk. And she was taking care of him while he was sleeping. The crown wasn't on his head. But the messenger comes and whispers to Rukmini that a poor Brahman has come looking for his childhood friend. He is waiting by the doorway. He's dirty, he's meager, he's hungry. I don't know if to tell him his name is Sudama. Krishna, in that rest, opened his eyes, jumped out of the lap of Rukmini, and started to move rapidly to that gate. Sukshamanetra Gajanana, Sukshamanetra Gajanana, Ananta Karuna Vidyanana, Pahi Pahi. To move and run. Imagine you are the first wife. You are the most important thing to this man. I have never seen him gone by the gate to receive anybody. Rukmini brought Pradyamuna into this world. From Pradyamuna come Anirudh, his grandson. All these great things happen, and Krishna didn't go to fight for his grandson. But now a pauper is beckoning by the gate, and the emperor of Dwarka is moving like his mother and father is calling him, calling to a little child for food, and the child is running. The hair, the Keshava, all the curly hair now is unkept. No crown on his head. The dhoti is coming apart. And Rukmini is running behind him, picking up pieces of jewel. Who is this? She is calling all the soldiers. Who is this? Who is this? Who is calling him? Who has him in this beheveled way? Who could cause him to feel like this? If I don't sing, I wouldn't get to say this. Bear with me. If you are crying, I don't know what's wrong with you. Forgive me. Sachidananda Gajanana, Sachidananda Gajanana, Nityananda Niranjana, Pahi 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 Pahi. He Pundrak Yena Mukti Mukti Viprayate Lokasvi Sudamanyena Sridamanye Yati Pahi 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 Lambodar He Gajanana, Lambodar He Gajanana, Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. You know this part. Reaches out, reaches by the gate, and calls out to him. The dust from walking the distance, where Dwarka is, where it was, in that vicinity, is a very dusty, sandy place. Could you imagine somebody walking with very little clothes? How much dust from the blowing of the wind, walking on the road, how much dust coats their body? The tears are cutting canal drains on the face of Sudama as he damns himself and he damns his karma that he could not meet with the Lord. That poor people are robbed of the opportunity to meet with goodness, not only in life with the finer things, but now, because of my standing, I cannot meet the love, the person that I went to school with, the person that I was able to rub shoulders with. Now, because of my destitute ways and because of destitution of wealth, I am worthless in this world. But then, from over his shoulder, Sudama, Krishna ran out. Kanhavar, everything fall. All the pearl around the neck burst with the rush, with the run to hold on to this friend. Sukdev Goswami is telling him, O Parikshit, many people know the pitya where Krishna is by the foot of Sudama washing the foot. But Sukdev Goswami says, Krishna says, it is for my benefit if I show you that hospitality. Because of the amount of Gayatri this man would have been recited, he brings him slowly, talking to him as if they were in school yesterday. Sudama is in awe to hear the way the emperor is gushing. Oh Brahman, do you remember our home in Sandapani? He's talking about his guru. For the person who didn't know, who is the guru of Krishna? Sandapani Rishi. He says, we were there and you left me there. You excelled. You were there for days. I stayed for years. He says, did you get married or did you remain as brahmachari? Guruji tells Parikshit, he's speaking as if he's not the Lord and Master of everything and he knows everything. Sudama says to himself, what type of Leela is this? You are in charge of all the energy, all the Shakti, everything is yours. And you are talking as if you did not know the time you gave me what I did with it. He says, dear friend, our first preceptor, our first guru was from the belly we come from. We didn't know each other there. The second guru is the Acharya who tied the Janu on our chest and gave us Gayatri. We didn't know each other there. But the one who teach us, that Vidya Guru, there we got to know each other. And I remember those days playing, running, getting in trouble. And they are walking slowly to where Rukmani's couch is. Remember that pitya, that old pitya people used to have in their hall, where this meager older person, his body is battered by hunger. And Krishna is washing. Why is somebody washing the foot of Sudama? The rule with the Gayatri, when the person is putting on the jani, is that you are now the caretaker of the Gayatri. And if the person wants to get blessing, let them wash the dust and the dirt off your foot. The person who is a regular user of Gayatri, the dust from their foot purifies your home. You do this when your Pandit, when your Guru come by your home and say, Babs, I would just like to wash your foot, please. The puja is start yet. And you will see the tanti on them, if they touch it to the lip, if they pass it on their hair, or they sprinkle it in their home. Then bring Baba inside to start the prayer. Krishna is leading by example. Now his guests, he starts to feed him. He starts to decorate him. And Rukmani saw the tali. Excuse. Rukmani saw the tali with the washing of the foot. And Krishna smiles as she dipped her hand in the water and passed it on her hair. Because of the value of that Gayatri, she too shares in what the husband is doing. Blessed is a home where we may pray different. You may love Durga and I love Lakshmi, for example. But the cohesive bond between husband and wife, that they could pray together, that home really has a different Lakshmi in it. That home has a different vibration in it. That home has a different energy to it. Because we support each other not only in the grocery and the tea and tech and the wasa, but even in our prayer. A person works for that type of karma. And Krishna, in this moment, felt very proud of Rukmani when she independently, she was not ushered, she was not reminded, she was not, you know how it is, hit the elbow. She was not instigated to do anything, but instead, in this moment, saw the value in this little dusty water. Do you remember, our friend, the incident when we were staying in the hermitage, in the home of Sandapani Rishi, where Guru Ma had sent us to get sticks for the cooking, the Dakshan Agni, where we talked about before? We went, and then there was a storm and we got stranded, and Guruji was worried. The sun set and we were trapped on that tree. Somebody asked me if it's true, the discourse part we hear about, where there was some rice and Sudama didn't give Krishna some, and that is why he was so poor. That is not given in Bhagavad. He says we were trapped on that tree, and in that cold night, you and I were brothers and were as if we were one suffering the cold. And in that moment, you kept me from giving up. You kept me up. And from that night, we were friends. And I've never forgotten you. You ever had a conversation with somebody and the person recite the exact thing you were saying or you was thinking, or you just had that kind of connection at a different level? I was praying on something and look, you come back and you say the same thing. As if you read the mind of Sudama, I never, in past tense, I never forget you. And the truth is, based on our knowledge of text, he never did forget Sudama. He cried. He says, do you remember how Sandapani Rishi felt guilty that he put us in harm's way, and he came crying at the foot of that tree, and he called on us, and when we came down, he held on to us as if he was our parent, crying and vexing and quarreling with us for coming in the forest. And we said, but Guruji, Guru Ma sent me for this. Why did you have to get trapped here? Do you know how much worries I worried throughout the night? He says, Sudama, you remember that? In the company of the Lord, in the amazement that the Lord is sitting at his feet, washing his foot, poor Sudama couldn't say one word. If I came asking for food, I came asking for gold, if it was me and you, maybe we'd ask for everything in the basket. Prabhu, you could give me the 5 numbers for this 5 or 6 numbers. Give me the numbers. But no. Sukdev Goswami says, how do you know you have that connection with God? What is the fitya? The fitya is a sense of peacefulness, calmness, and quiet comes over your body, regardless of your circumstance or where you are. You don't need to be in a mandir or in a great tirat place touching a murti or something along the line. That calmness could find you anywhere you are. Because when somebody says self-realization, you have to realize that God lives within you and he is with you. So that if I call on him, if I have that relationship, he's sitting, in the cartoon, you see the devil and the devta and the person. If the God is right here and the car nearly hit my car, the child came home and said they passed the exam, the child wake up, the fever break, You name the circumstance. Whether what your condition is. You're in casualty fighting for a bed for dengue. Regardless of your circumstance. That friend that you are hoping will hear your prayer, that friend could be right there with you. After a long chat, Sudama started to talk back to Krsna. Krsna is taking out the food for Sudama. He says, you are my guest, and today I get to feed you, I get to treat you. Let's hear what happens in this next sloka. Hai Shivaratri Bhambola, Hai Shivaratri Bhambola, Shiva Shivaratri Bhambola. Bola, bola, bambola. Come on, everybody, help me. Bola, bola, bambola. Bola, bola, bambola. Aye Shivaratri bambola. Shiva Shivaratri bambola. Bhuyur prapya bhakta patyam hridame me dosho ye kalpat ye maruta ye bhavayati. Yuktayapi dvijasyatam Vijayate patitam Shriman Pratiye prishti rajankar Prayata daraye mukti. Aye Shivaratri bhambola, Shiva Shivaratri bhambola. Bola, bola, bambola. Bola, bola, bambola. Bola, bola, bambola. Aye Shivaratri bambola. Shiva Shivaratri bambola. Shiva Shivaratri bambola. Bambola. Umapati Mahadeva ki jai. Whilst Krsna was feeding him, Sukdev Goswami says to Parikshit, Krsna was actually testing him, paying attention to his mind, looking at the emotion of this individual. Krsna says, not once did he ask me for money. Not once, and this is where I guess it falls in Vigyan, not once did he worship me for money. Not once did he think about himself and not his family. And then that part we all know, where Krsna snatches the rice, the little jewelry that was on his hem. Krsna opened it, and Sudama did try to block. Verse 4, chapter 81. The verse is echoed in Gita. A person who with devotion offers me a leaf, a flower, a fruit, even water, I will enjoy it. I will enjoy that which is given to me. There is no such thing that you have to offer this or offer that to Krishna. Krishna is the form I could do his worship any day, every day. There is no particular time. I could wake up 12 o'clock in the night or 12 o'clock in the day and do Krishna puja. If I have fruit, if I have sugar, if I have what. But just as we were saying in earlier episode, sometimes we stress and build an issue. You have to make this kind of parasad. The tarya has to be big. I have to put on yellow sari. I have to make sure the flag is a particular dimension. For some people, bigger usually means that you're going to get more blessing. But the truth is not so much what in the tarya, but it's the hand that holding the tarya. Too often, people don't look at themselves and how they carry themselves, the honesty factor, the straightforwardness. Those things matter as well. Remember, in Lord Shiva's case, Ram and Ravan were devotees of Lord Shiva. They both win his favor. One is destroyed and one is emulated till today. But the character of the person is what shines through. Nobody studies the fruit or the recipe they are offering. Whilst those things are nice, it is not all. In this case, Sudama felt ashamed to give him what little he had, but with a lot of love. Just as when Draupadi in Mahabharata feeds him from the bowl, and it said, Ved Vyas tells Ganesh, who is writing Mahabharata, in that moment the universe found peace because Krishna was satisfied with one grain of rice. Likewise, in this moment, he took one handful and it into his mouth. Rukmani shares, he goes to her, and this incarnation of Lakshmi, she consumes. Sridaman is now more concerned about the one he is not friendly with. His Bauji, he is more concerned she has to eat it. Oh God. If he eat it, well, I'm a friend. But oh God, sister had to eat it now. Where she gonna say, this is what I gonna bring for the big king? This was his thought. He felt ashamed. He felt bad. He felt depressed that this is all I could afford. But the remaining set that was there became prasad. And Krishna, according to Sukadeva Goswami here in verse 781, he says at no point did he deviate. Did he get carried away? Did he only think about himself? Did he think about something else? For the time he has been here in my company, his eyes did not come off of me to focus on the size of the house, the gold on the wall, or whatever else was there to distract him. It was as if the eyes of Sudama were truly eyes. Remember where we start in this chapter. When the eyes start to tell you, I want to see Ganesh Baba is passing on the road, somebody having Ganesh Utsav. I want to see it. I want to go outside and see it. I want to witness the prayer. The eyes is hungry. Then call it eyes. Sudama in that moment was truly the owner of eyes. His body, the hair on his body reacted to the God that was standing in front of him. He saw the joy in Krishna from eating this meager gift, and his feelings was so tumultuous that whilst he's happy, Krishna is happy with this little rice. He feels ashamed. This is the Lord and Master, everything, and this is all I have. He tells him, you are the soul of this universe. And what kind of game are you playing with me? Are you still playing pranks on me, oh trickster? When you were young, you were terrible. You did all type of trouble when you were in Vrindavan to the gopis. When you came to Sandapani Ashram, You did all type of deeds to Balram, and to us, you are a good prankster. Are you playing with me again? Are you being disingenuous? Are you being false? Are you really so happy with me being here and this meager gift that I have brought? Are you trying to insult me? Krishna smiles with him. That's all. He didn't reply. He didn't say anything. And Rukmani holds his hand and she says, brother, come. And she put him in a room and she let everybody feed him and take care of him. Sukdev Goswami says, for that night he spent in this house of Krishna, he did not overeat. He did not get addicted to any of the sweets. He stayed that night by himself in that room, and he stayed there constantly thinking about his friend, as if his friend was talking to him throughout the night. There was no difference. The people in Vrindavan, when he's not there, they are grieving. And Sudama says to himself, I have grown, and I am so accustomed with him not being in front of me. But it is as if he's always with me. So I am always talking to you, O Krishna. Today I'm in your home and I'm still talking to you. At no point did he ask for money. The next morning he comes and he did not wait. At the crack of dawn he leaves. Not to bother anybody, not to become a burden to his sister-in-law. He leaves very early to return to his wife. Krishna, finding out that he left, jumped on the chariot and tells Daruk, his charioteer, follow him. Let's hear what happens in this, our last slok. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namastasye 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 Namo Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Anjayam Danaye Prapya Madhyahe Mahale Smaranyati Iti Karunani Yenunam Danam Me Bori Nasyate Namastasye 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 Namo Namah Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samstita. He's walking and he's thinking how nice his time was spent. But then he thinks, what a sinner I am. According to my Parab karma, yes, I had the great opportunity of being a friend with Krishna. And I had the blessing to be friendly with him, to eat with him, to play with him, to grow with him. And that by itself is a blessing. But my Parab karma also gave me a spouse. And I left here on a mission, but I failed my spouse. In providing for my wife, I didn't provide. This will lead me to more damn, more harm, more suffering. What will I tell this girl when I go back there? How powerful Garibi or poverty is. That even my soul will burn because of the lack of my ability to do my duty. But as he is walking, looking at the ground, head bent low, when he does lift his head, as you know, he did not see his little kutia. Sees a great mahal. studded with gold, and many people moving about. He assumes a great man lives here, a rich person. But isn't this where my house was? Where is my house? And then he sees somebody dressed as a queen coming closer and closer to him. When he looks carefully, it's his wife. Let's hear what happens. Asanne hridaye yatam madhusudhanaye muktiyatham Vaipalani vitaye nanitam ye pratya vishwaye yati yade Namastasye She says, oh husband, and you could imagine she's showing him all the clothes and all the nice things. You are truly great. You have fulfilled more than I expected. When I woke up this morning, there were columns of crystals. This place was transformed. I don't know where all these nice things came from, but I knew it was your doing and the blessing of your Lord. Sudama, with tears in his eyes, stood there. Sukdev Goswami recites these words to Raja Parikshit. Tasya meva sauhridaya Tasya sakha sakhaye yadam Punyarjanama punyajanani Swayamana bhavaye punayati Namastasye 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 Namo Namah Nadevi Tadabhuteshi Shakti Rupenadam Stita Shri Adi Shakti Mata Ki Jai. Krishna coming up closer and closer, easy to him, not the charging aggressive speed. Sees his friend crying. This is 35. Verse 35, chapter 81. Sudama turns around and he says, oh Krishna, all I gave you was parched rice. He says that rice, till today we give rice in Havan and Puja. He says that gift of rice brought the Lakshmi that you were praying for. Consider how much rice you use in your prayers, your Dari, your Havan, your Parai, different places. This seed of Lakshmi, that little gift you gave me, brought Lakshmi to your life. And the suffering that you were going through was lifted. Sudama drops to his knees and says, in all my future birth, if you wish me to come upon this earth, never leave me, never forsake me, and never allow me to be without your friendship. Allow wherever I am, your love and your friendship will always protect me. This is the gift, this is the Vardhan that I would like to have. Always allow me to cherish you and allow yourself to cherish me. Inside of my heart, there is nobody except for you. All this gold and all these riches, I am glad she is happy and she is not starving, the wife. But all I am going to do, I am going to give it up. I am not going to get caught in this trap. I am not going to get caught in this leela of money and gold and live for it. I am not going to consider myself gifted or benefited from our friendship because of the gold and the nice things that stand there now. I am going to call myself gifted because of this friendship that I have with you. Too many people will never have this facility and they are a pauper. They are a true pauper if they do not have this love. They do not have this appreciation for you. And when a person is in trouble and difficulty and hardship, and they wish, just as I was going through all of this hardship, they wish you could be a friend to them in their times and moments of need. When they do not have that friendliness or friendship with you, O Kanha, they are truly going to be paupers in this world. Sinful people identify with the things and the assets that they have. There are too many people in this Kali Yuga that identify with the car. And one of the eyes they go work and you okay, enjoy the same car. Somebody go take the car. Somebody will inherit the house. The same property tax will lick up everybody. The same house become a burden. The same thing you was fighting for becomes somebody else one for it to squander and throw it away. Truthfully. Everybody put your hand together. As Sudama rests his head on the big toe of Krsna, verse 41 of chapter 81 of the 10th Skandha. The person who listens to the account of the grace that is showered and showed to this Brahman called, well, as I said, Tridama Sudama, by Lord Krishna, that one who is called Mukunda, the granter of liberation, granter of opportunity to find Jivan Mukti, to find the opportunity back to him, the true goal of this life. That friendliness that gave him the bhakti, the love, the tears that he had, not the hunger, not the gaining of riches. Me and you will cry the day we win the lottery. It didn't make a difference to him. The friendship with the divinity broke every barrier and everything that he held back. Blessed is the person that listens, Shravanam, to this discourse, that they will develop that type of karmic breaking, bondage breaking type of mentality, that type of prayer, that inside of them, the light of bhakti will be lit and it will glow. The person becomes their own version. If God is activated in the heart and mind of the person becomes their own version of Sudama. And Krishna waits on them to wash their feet because of their character, because of who they are, how they pray, and how they develop in this life with the time that God has given to each person. Vindravan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. This brings us to the end of this chapter. For me, I've always, growing up with mommy, we were always taught you do your prayers. Shivratri was a big thing. But mommy always loved Lord Krishna. And you grow, you learn based on what you see. And in my time reading Bhagavad, I always connect with this discourse. Of all the discourse it have, this one for me is my Katha, which is yours. You love him, you pray to him. Everybody had to face a bandara one day. You need him. When you think about your Krishna, what Katha, what Leela, what part of the story do you like? You know him, or you should know him. He shouldn't be a stranger. He should be your friend. And if you know your friend, you could love your friend. I don't know how you can love a stranger. As we conclude tonight, become a friend with your Krishna. I was telling everybody about my friend who was here today. How you just know that your friend, you just like them and love them for who they is, who they are, and not who you want them to be. A friend is take you as you is with every flaw you have. With every imperfection, that person know you, truthfully know you. We live our life where we just lie plenty, There are plenty pundits would like you to be, but I'm a pundit, I'll talk about pundits. There are plenty pundits would like you to believe we don't get upset and we don't get hurt and we don't cry and we don't get sick. We body don't twist helping people when we don't do Gayatri job. But the truth is, a pundit is a servant. A pundit is used by John Public. And when you have no more use, time to pelt away upon it. Truthfully. That is part of Kali. And when he says he supports people who use Gayatri, this is where he's saying, don't be ungrateful to your guru. Remember, the first guru is your mother. You cannot worship and expect the God to be a friend. And the lady who takes her bone and makes milk for you to have your bone, you disregard and throw away that person. Do your duty. What does he say in Gita? Do your duty, and in doing your duty, you will find salvation. You will find mukti. You will do your job. God make you a son. God make you a daughter in this example. And in doing your job, you get divine blessings. But neglect your job. I was never a son. I was never a daughter to that lady. But I did the best prayers. And you might be waiting for a friend to come and take you up one day. And you might have to wait a little while. You might have to suffer. People go through that every day. When you look at how some people live to a ripe old age, healthy, God bless them. You don't suffer. We live in a time, the mango's still green and it's suffering. The ripe mango, just have to stay on the tree, and the green mango just fall. And when you really analyze it, how much obia and hatred from other people can you really account and say, because of that, that's why my life is so hard? Some of it is your own friend, and you could be your own enemy too. At some point in your prayer and in your relationship with God, you have to get brutally honest. Only then, with yourself, where could I improve? Where could I do better? If we could just apply some of these rules, then this Bhagavad, another year was a success. If you really apply it, nobody have to know. Don't come and tell me nothing. Sit down home in the privacy of your house and have a nice little chat with your friend and make a decision. You see this new year coming? One of my bad habits going to break. I'm going to be a better friend to you, Lord Krishna. I'm going to be a good, honest person. I'm going to be a good worker. I'm going to be an honest child. I'm not going to steal anymore. I'm not going to take. I'm not going to lie. You choose one. Anyone. And you be a better friend to your Krishna. Don't make the mistakes other people make. Vindravan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Before we conclude, I have Pandit Shiva Bharan with me tonight. Baba, please come and borrow. It's the first time you come by me. Please give us a blessing. And then I would like to ask, I have Pandit Gopal Baba, you're going to say 2 verses for we now when you finish, right?
Shri Pandit Keshava Ji, Pandit Dev Ramprasad, Pandit Gopal, devotees, shrotas, members of the Triveni Mandir who I recognize, and those who I don't, please forgive me. Jai Sitaram. So it took me a little while to reach to begin with, but fortunately, with a little bit of Waze on Google, we were able to attend, myself and Rishiji here. Baba and I tried to connect several times, even as far as New York, if I remember, a couple times. And this happened to be, nothing happens before its time. So this happened to be the first time that I'm here in this wonderful area of Hindustan and in this wonderful ashram. Now, Baba would have spoken about some of the ills of Kali Yuga. And Unfortunately, one of the tendencies that we see is that the Singhasan has now become, in some places, a place of commerce and entertainment. It is heartening, however, to note that you come and you listen to a katha which contains actual readings from the scriptures, lessons that we should live from a educated and a very humble person. So I would urge you all, do not throw away your guru. Do not discard what you have. Sometimes that little gem, that little rice that we feel that we sometimes trod upon, that rice grain can become the most wonderful gem that we can prize. So you all have a wonderful person here to lead and guide you all, and I will definitely be back, Bhagwan's kripa, that I am able to attend. And I want to say a little mantra. Please let's put our hands together, close our eyes, and bow our heads. Om Yam Brahma Varunindra Rudra Marutah Stunvanti Divyaistave Vire Sangapada Kramopanishade Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam Navido Sura Suraganaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Prem se bole Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai.
Pandit Dev is here. Oh, right. I know him as Pandit Adish. Pandit Adish is our Bedi Pandit. Everybody give him a Baba clap, please. Thank you, Baba. He has been guiding and fighting with all these shrotas and the tantis, them just go, you finish one part, we could do this now. And in a very patient persona, he has been doing a good job. Everybody, let me join Pandit Gopal. Let me do a couple of wishes. I hear Dhyanam now. For everybody benefit. Gita Dhyanam.
Thank you, Baba. Everybody claps hands and close eyes as we concentrate on the Universal Master, Lord Krishna. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha Atha Gita Dhyana Shlokaha Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshiniim Bhagavatim Ashtadashaധ്യായിനീം अम्ब त्वामनुसन्ददामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयः प्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् भीष्मद्रोणतथा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शैल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोटेर्ना खलु पाण्डवैरननरी कैवर्तकः केशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगण्डोर्कथम् नानाज्ञानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधना बोधितम् लोके सज्जन षट्पदैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयाद्भारतपङ्कजं कलिमल प्रध्वंसि न श्रेयसे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् शान्ताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभाङ्गं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिहृद्ध्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथं यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुता स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वीरैः साङ्गपरक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरसुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय कृष्णाय क्लिष्टकारिणे नमो वेदान्तवेद्याय गुरवे बुद्धिसाक्षिणे सर्वोपनिषदो गावः दुग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्ससुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महता गीताशास्त्रमिदं पुण्यं यः पठेत् प्रेतः पुमान् विष्णोः परमवाप्नोति भयशोकारिवर्जितः एकं शास्त्रं देवकी पुत्रगीतम् एको देवो देवकी पुत्र एव एको मन्त्रस्तस्य नामानि यानि कर्माप्येकं तस्य देवस्य सेवा ॐ श्रीकृष्णाय परमात्मने नमः बोले श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय।
Thank you, Baba. We only have 3 more sessions. And there are many, many discourses. The Parashram discourse with Lord Krishna, there are many wonderful discourses we didn't get to do this time. The plan is to do Bhagavad for 7 consecutive years. This is the 2nd year. If we don't do it, pundits like Young Gopal and Dev and others will not have the knowledge and the know-how, the stamina to do prayer like this. Saptaha Bhagavad will disappear. Practically very hard to find as is. Everybody is too busy to do it. But when, for example, somebody comes and they say, all the men are dying out in our family, we can't have children in the family, the surname is dying off. The family used to offer hog blood, etc. And the family is now dying off. What could I do? Bhagavad becomes a tool to burn karma like that extent, to stop it. So the person who has to change that trend does Bhagavad, listens to Bhagavad, take part in Bhagavad for 5 times. There are many examples like that, but it takes a strong devotee to go through this type of rigor to do it. It is not a popular solution, I agree. Many people would back from it. But we decided to do it because there are many elders who as we are having less children, the family is getting smaller, less help. They reach their age, they want to do to help the soul, they want to help the self. But there is no yag. It's as if COVID is still running. There is no avenue for me to worship, to do Nandi Mokshrad, or to do any type of dan that will help me overcome the sins I did in my youth. So, the criteria to take part is really just fast properly. Not anybody, not everybody could afford to cook the volume of food for the 22 odd sessions we will do by Sunday morning. But together with some very hard-working people, we have done it before and we'll do it again. I encourage for everybody who think we have time, for every person that thinks, well, one day I can do that. When you figure out how you could tell me what happening tomorrow and which book you're checking, and you know that you're going to be here tomorrow, and dengue will kill you, and the kidnapper will carry you, and you have time. As we like to say, you have time. If you get the opportunity, my advice, take the opportunity. If you get help, take the help. It might do you some good. Vindravan Bihari Lala ki jai. Everybody, let's all stand as we do closing arti. I apologize for going over. Put your hand together. Ladies, please cover your hair. And take a second and say a prayer. After all, we talk about, this is just an opportunity for you to say a prayer. You want my copy? All this singing is good. Before we do the arti, I just want to tell the team, I'm not sure how many of you are here, but the team from Triveni Mandir, thank you for adding value to our year. Thank you for joining me. And Trisha, at a very personal level between me and you, a couple of years ago, my iron count went nearly into the floor, the way it was low. And my nurse who is singing here came home when COVID was running and very regularly had to give me the Venifer treatment. If you know about that, you have iron problems. And with patience, because I have the worst veins, they disappear when they see needles. She had to chuck me on top of my foot all over looking for veins. Trisha, again, thank you. God bless. Everybody put your hands together. Let me say we praise. Sajam cha varti sanyuktam grahina yojitam mayam deepam grahana devesham Trailokya timidapaham.
जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती पापियों को पाप से है तारती जय जय भागवत भगवान की जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती। पापियों को पाप से है तारती। मधुर बोल जग पंग बोल सन्मार्ग दिखाने वाला, बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला। ये मधुर बोल जग पंग खोल सन्मार्ग दिखाने वाला, बिगड़ी को बनाने वाला। श्री राम यही घनश्याम यही, प्रभु की महिमा की आरती। पापियों को पाप से है तारती। जय जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती। पापियों को पाप से है तारती। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे रामा 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे रामा 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे रामा 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे रामा राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे रामा राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे रामा
Everybody together.
हरे रामा राम राम हरे हरे।
With all the love we have inside, let me say we last prayer tonight. Dear Lord, thank you for this opportunity to listen and learn about you. Tvameva Mata, everybody. Tvameva Bandhuscha, Tvameva Vidya, Tvameva Sarvam, Tvameva Sarvam. Together. Om Shanti, 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 Hari Om. Prem se bolo Umapati Mahadeva ki, Pawan Putra Hanuman ki, Shri Adi Shakti Mata ki, Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki, Satya Sanatan Dharma ki, Jai, 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 Sitaram. Sitaram, everybody. Please have your seat.